My girlfriend said choose me or the meat, so I chose meat. When I started dating Ashley 3 years ago, she thought my BBQ hobby was cute. I had this little Weber grill on my apartment balcony. I'd make burgers and hot dogs on weekends. She'd laugh and call me her grill master. Everything was perfect. But then I got serious about smoking meat. I'm talking real serious. I bought a $1,200 smoker, started watching YouTube videos for hours, joined Facebook groups about brisket and pork shoulders. Ashley thought it would pass, like when I got obsessed with fantasy football or learned guitar for 3 weeks. But this was different. This became my life. I'd wake up at 4 in the morning to start a brisket. I'd sit outside for 14 hours checking the temperature every 30 minutes. I bought a special thermometer that cost more than our monthly date nights. You care more about that smoker than you do about me, Ashley would say. I thought she was being dramatic, until she started making me choose between BBQ competitions and her family events. Her sister's birthday party was the same day as the regional smoking contest. I'd been preparing for months. I chose the contest and won second place in the pork category. Ashley didn't talk to me for a week. Things got worse when I started my Instagram page, Austin's BBQ Journey. I posted pictures of every brisket, every rack of ribs, every perfectly smoked chicken. I gained 3,000 followers in 6 months. People were commenting, asking for tips. I felt like a celebrity, but Ashley hated it. She said I cared more about strangers on the internet than our relationship. She wasn't totally wrong. I'd spend hours responding to comments while she sat next to me on the couch. I'd leave date nights early if someone messaged me about smoking temperatures. The breaking point came last Christmas. We were at her parents' house for dinner. Her mom had spent all day cooking this fancy ham. I took one bite and said, "This would be better if you smoked it with hickory wood for 8 hours instead of just baking it." Ashley's dad looked annoyed. Her mom seemed hurt. Ashley dragged me to the car and didn't speak to me the whole drive home. That night, she gave me an ultimatum. "I can't do this anymore. You have to choose, me or the meat." I thought she was joking. I laughed and said, "Come on, babe, it's just BBQ." But she was dead serious. She packed a bag and stayed at her friend Katie's house for 3 days. When she came back, she asked again, "What's it gonna be? A real relationship or your obsession with smoking meat?" I looked at my beautiful girlfriend of 3 years, the woman I thought I'd marry someday, the person who supported me through everything. Then I looked at my smoker sitting on the balcony, all the hours I'd invested, the community I'd built online, the competitions I had coming up. "I choose the meat," I said. Ashley stared at me like I'd slapped her. She grabbed her stuff and left that same night. For 2 weeks, I thought I'd made the right choice. I could smoke brisket whenever I wanted. I entered 3 more competitions. I even got sponsored by a rub company. But then reality hit. I was posting pictures of perfect ribs to thousands of followers, but I had nobody to actually share them with. I'd cook a whole pork shoulder and eat it alone for a week. I'd win trophies and have nobody to celebrate with. My Instagram followers loved my content, but they weren't real friends. They didn't care about me, just my recipes. 3 months later, I was at another BBQ competition. I just won first place in brisket, the biggest win of my life. I called Ashley to tell her the good news. Her number was disconnected. I posted about my victory online, got 2,000 likes and hundreds of congratulations. But standing there with my trophy, I realized I'd traded the love of my life for the approval of strangers. That night, I drove to Katie's house. Ashley's car was in the driveway. I knocked on the door with my first place trophy in one hand and flowers in the other. Ashley opened the door and saw me standing there. She looked at the trophy, then at me. "I chose wrong," I said. "The meat doesn't love me back." She smiled for the first time in months. "You're an idiot," she said. We got back together, but with rules. 2 competitions per year maximum, no phone during date nights, and I had to cook her favorite meal once a week without posting about it online. 6 months later, I proposed to her with a custom engagement ring shaped like a tiny brisket. She said yes, but only if I promised to cater our wedding myself. Best trade I ever made.